A solo camping trip is one where you decide where you want to go, how long to go for, and for what reasons. It is your time to reset, unwind, or revamp yourself. This can look so different for so many people. Maybe you choose backwoods camping with just a backpack, axe, and a tent. Or maybe you choose a luxury hotel room with a jacuzzi. Or you could do what I did and choose a log cabin Airbnb surrounded by miles of forest. So how long should you go? I would highly recommend maybe start out doing 2 days. Honestly, one day is not enough. To show up at the place, sleep, wake up in the morning, and then have to pack and then leave again, not good enough. In my opinion, do 2 days for sure, for the minimum. And then maybe next time, bump it up a few more days because you can really get in the groove of things. Because at this point on day 2, I'm feeling way more settled and way more in the routine of like when to put wood on the fire, when the sun is at this particular angle, when the birds come out, what time the squirrels are more active. So I'm paying more attention to my surroundings more, but now I'm going home. So it would be really nice to be here for another few days. So that's my recommendation for you if you want to do a solo trip. Start small and then get bigger, or just go big all at once. Why go on a solo camping trip? What would trigger that desire inside of you? A recent breakup? Newly sober? Celebrating 1 year sober? A recent loss of a loved one? Wanting a life reset? Or just wanting to see if you can do it? There are so many reasons solo camping would be good for you. You will feel so much more connected to nature. And this is a good thing because most of us have lost that connection, or the connection is fuzzy due to our everyday lives on social media, city living, 9 to 5, and other distractions. Getting back to nature revives a deep part inside you, deep inside all of us since we're all humans, and it forces you to slow down, breathe, and be still. You can also do everything at your own pace. I spent literally 2 solid hours trying to see fish in a stream, and if I was with someone, that probably wouldn't have happened. I did what I wanted, when I wanted, and that was such a good feeling. It can improve your confidence, self-reliance, intuition, and perseverance. It's not the funnest thing to think about during your solo trip planning, but it's a must, and that's safety. There's scary animals, people, and even nature itself. My first tip would be to ensure that you have the skills and knowledge to take on this adventure first. Before I went on my first solo trip, it was always my husband who made the fire and did the cooking. So I looked up on YouTube how to use a wood stove. Be sure you know how to set up your tent, how to navigate, how to build a fire, how to deal with any injuries that might happen. How would you handle a run-in with wildlife? Be prepared for that too.
Oh, hello. I'm afraid you're gonna jump at me. Also, you live here, so I'm not gonna disturb you. Just please don't go in my bed. I love you.
If you feel too inexperienced, camp with friends first a few times before attempting a solo trip. I Googled camping packing lists to help me not forget anything, and I kept an eye on the weather forecast to be prepared in that way too. Be sure to arrive to the site with lots of light in the day left so you're not setting things up in the dark. I would also recommend to set things up as soon as you get there so that it's out of the way. Be careful with who you tell about your trip. If you live alone, it might not be a good idea to tell Facebook your house will be empty for a few days. I recommend not telling people you meet along the way that you'll be alone either, but you do what feels right. Trust your instincts.
Have a good day.
Tell someone exactly where you're going, your itinerary, and your check-in and check-out times. If you don't have an exact time or date in mind, tell them a range and let them know you arrive safe and let them know when you're on your way back home. Bring a satellite phone or a personal locator beacon if you're somewhere with no cell service. The only thing that held me back from going on my solo trip was the fear that I would be scared at night. on YouTube, I watch like dash cam footage and like cottage footage, and I've seen way too many videos of bears breaking into cottages. So I know what they're capable of. And in Nova Scotia, sure, we don't have grizzlies and stuff. Like, our bears are fine, but we still have bears, and I'm out in the country. I guess I'm afraid that animals are going to circle the cabin, and I'm not going to be able to leave. Yeah. This is going to be the first time in my life. No. Yes. This is going to be the first time in my life where I am so far away from what I'm used to and what I see as safety. And I'm going to have to deal with my own inner voice this whole time to calm me down. I'm going to have to rely on my mind to not psych myself out and rely on my mind to remind myself that I am perfectly safe. Yeah. It's fine now, but I know at nighttime it's probably going to be a different story. I brought some extra sheets with me to cover the windows at night, which helped me feel safer and like I wasn't being watched. I also did the chair under the doorknob trick, even though the cabin had a lock. When you arrive, look around and see where people could easily get in and find ways to ensure that can't happen. Every night I brought my knife with me to keep next to my bed, and I put my car keys on the nightstand in case I needed to press the alarm button for whatever reason. Have podcasts or a bedtime music playlist ready to listen to as you're in bed ready to go to sleep if the silence freaks you out. If you are in the middle of the woods, there's a good chance you'll hear sounds at night, whether that be small animals running around or wind knocking branches together. When you're camping alone, the only things you're forced to adhere to is the sun schedule, eating times, and bathroom breaks. The rest of your time is completely free to do whatever you want. If you're anything like me, you have a few half-read books laying around, so maybe bring one with you. Or bring a blank notebook and write. Write about why you decided to solo camp. Write about what you want to achieve. Write about any changes you want to make when you get back to your regular life. You can also cry if you want, even if it comes out of nowhere and you have no idea why it's happening. Let it happen. Bring a yoga mat with you and move, work out, or meditate. Bring birdseed and peanuts to leave treats for the birds and squirrels as a way to say thanks. Go for a hike nearby or just around your site. Get to know the land and the plants and listen to the wind in the trees and the birds. If you find a giant unknown load of poop like I did, take pictures and ask your friends later what animal they think it came out of.
Oh my goodness.
Side note, I still don't know, so comment down below if you think you know what animal's butt this came out of. You can still do non-camping things, even though you're camping too. No one is going to say you're being extra for wanting to do your skincare routine at night or wear makeup. If coffee is your favorite part of the morning, bring all the gear to continue making the perfect cup. If cooking makes you happy, bring ingredients and cook rather than bringing pre-assembled meals. Do what makes you happy and the least stressed. I'd recommend having a camera nearby at all times because you never know when you'll suddenly need it. Thankfully, I was rolling the exact moment I saw a big black animal walking up to my cabin. Oh my god, oh my god. Holy shit. It's a dog. It's a weird, large dog. Oh, there's three of them. I thought there was a fucking bear. So it's my last day here. I have to leave in about 2 hours. And just about now is when some anxiety right here is starting to set in. My belly's starting to like do the churning, and I'm starting to feel anxiety about the drive home and about going back to like regular life again. And being out here reminded me how much I love being outside. So this 48 hours has been an amazing way to de-stress, to refocus my life on what is important and what isn't, to refocus on myself and listening to my own mind and my own intuition. It's refocused, I guess, my goals and helped me to realize some of the things that aren't important in my life because I went without them when I was here. It's awesome what solitude can do for your mental health, even if it's just for a 2-day getaway.
Hi.
Like me, you might have some anxiety about leaving and returning to the routine of life. I took my time packing, took my time driving home, and made sure I didn't have anything to do when I got home. I'd recommend paying attention to how you're feeling and maybe journal about it or tell a friend. Just don't judge yourself for whatever feelings might come up. Whether you're on a journey of self-discovery, reflection, or just to de-stress, you're going to have thoughts and emotions come up. You're only human. When I got home, I felt a bit spacey, and being around people felt mildly intrusive. Give your friends and family a heads up you're not in the mood for too much excitement if you feel you need that. For the first few days of returning to my regular life, I avoided scrolling on social media because I realized how draining it felt. If you feel the need to continue your break from regular life stuff, I encourage you to do so. Taking a solo vacation can really put things into perspective and force you to reevaluate, so maybe try out new behaviors or routines. Tell people you love them more. Tell yourself you love yourself more. And show more gratitude for the things in your life.
Thank you, fridge. Thank you, table. I didn't use you, but thank you anyway. Thank you, stove. You were great at keeping me warm. Thanks, wood. Same. You were quite uncomfortable, but thanks for being there. You were comfy, so thank you.
If you don't like where you're at in life, switch things up. You can't expect your life to change if you keep doing the same things and thinking the same ways. You are very capable of changing, evolving, and learning new ways of being. You can do hard things. You deserve happiness, and you are loved. I'm afraid there's spiders everywhere now. This is ridiculous. It's probably a bird, but still. So anyways, yeah,